Listen up, man. Let's get straight into it. You read the title, right? Spirituality is completely pointless if it does not lead you towards your dharma. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. Spirituality, the spiritual path, and all these spiritual practices are completely pointless if they do not lead you towards your dharma. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean, bro? I thought the spiritual path, I thought the spiritual journey was all about achieving peace, love, light, sunshines, and rainbows. I thought that was the ultimate goal of the soul. I thought that was the end destination of this path. Now you're telling me that all of this shit is completely pointless if it does not get me to my dharma. What is dharma? What does that even mean? I've never even heard of those words. Make that make sense. Well, relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded, because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey that we call life is that the spiritual path is something that has been convoluted, something that has been corrupted in today's day and age, into the modern day world. Yes, sir, let that marinate into your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche, my guy. The idea of spirituality has been completely warped and distorted in our modern day world. We believe that spirituality means peace, love, light, and happiness. It's all the things that are quote unquote good and all the things that are quote unquote pure. That is not what we are trying to do on the spiritual path. If you truly want to walk the spiritual path, you see, a lot of people can describe the spiritual path in different ways. What I'm talking about, what I'm referring to, and what I'm basing all of these teachings around is the path of dharma. And when I say dharma, some of you guys, what the fuck does that even word mean? Well, relax, stick with me. Dharma is an ancient Aryan term from the East that cannot be described really in the English language. But the best way that I can put it is your dharma is your natural essence. It is what brings you to that state of feeling like how you should, like yourself. It is the unified state of the self where your mind, your body, and your soul are working in harmony together in a dharmic balance. That is the self, the mind, the body, and the soul. That is you. You're not just the mind, you're not just the body, and you're not just the soul. You're the combination of all. And when you are living in alignment where all of them are being fed properly, all these aspects of the self are being fed properly, you are living dharmically. You are living in alignment to what you were designed to do, towards your destiny, and you are accomplishing your duty. That is your dharma, and this is what the spiritual path, in my eyes, is all about. This is what life is all about in my eyes. Dharma means everything. To live naturally means everything. To live in alignment towards your destiny, towards your duty, is the highest aspect of anything you can think of when it comes to the spiritual path. I don't care how many psychedelic trips you take. I don't care about how much you can meditate. I don't care about how much you can astral project. I don't give a shit about any of that. And neither should you, to be honest. Because what the fuck does that do for you? You can live in this spiritual subtle planes when you go and astral project and you are on psychedelics, but you come back down into reality and your reality is not lived in a way where it is dharmic to you. So what the fuck is the point? What's the point of taking this vacation by doing these psychedelics, taking these trips out to the jungle to do ayahuasca and all these things that spiritual people think that is the highest aspect of spirituality? What's the point of doing astral projection, meditating, and all that stuff when you come back down into reality, when you come back down into the material world and you are still trying to escape it. You see, when you live dharmically, there is no escape. You don't have to escape anything. You are living exactly how you should. There is no compulsive need to escape your reality. There is no impulsive need to remove yourself from the material world. You are living in alignment towards what is natural to you. And not only does that fulfill you, but it fulfills your role within the cosmic symphony of life, within the cosmic melody of life. Because everyone has their dharma. Every single person has their own individual dharma, their own individual natural essence. But the dharma of life in itself is also a thing. There's a dharmic balance of life, and each and every single person is meant to play their role by pursuing their dharma in order to keep this harmony and balance. Doesn't mean that everyone's doing something good. Doesn't mean everyone's doing something quote unquote pure and just in a way where you look at it and you're like, wow, that's a very spiritual guy. Your dharma might not be to be quote unquote the high level monk, the mystic, the sage, the saint. Your dharma could be to be a villain in the eyes of others, but that's what's natural to you. That is why I'm saying this is the highest level of this spiritual path. And this is what the highest level of life is all about. And as I'm saying this, you see the helicopter coming over my head. Because it knows I'm spitting that game, I'm speaking that truth. Dharma is the highest pursuit. It is the only pursuit worth pursuing. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to ask you right now, ask yourself this right now. People that are quote unquote on the spiritual path. What are you doing this for? To be a good person? To go to heaven? To reach enlightenment? To astral project? To see visuals? What is it for? To have peace? What is it for? What is the spiritual path for? What are these practices for? Tell me, please. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to give me a good answer because you're just doing it because you're doing it. You've heard things online. You watch videos about certain people. Maybe you read a couple books, you know, The Power of Now and this and that, spirituality, mindfulness, this and that, new age shit. And the whole idea of spirituality is to be more spiritual. What the fuck does that mean? To be more spiritual, you know what that really means? Is to become less material. Do you want to do that? Then go out into the forest, go meditate all day, don't eat any food, fast for a fucking long time, live like a monk, live like a sadhu, live like a sage. That is becoming more spiritual. That is becoming more subtle. You see what I'm saying? The goal of the spiritual path, and the reason why we say spiritual path, is because in today's day and age, your consciousness is dominated by those aspects of the self, which is the mental and the physical. That's why we must go on the spiritual path to get more alignment to that self. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? We're not just trying to become spiritual. That's not the end goal, to reach alignment where you are completely detached from the world. The reason why we walk this spiritual path is to bring back balance to the self. And when we're back in balance to the self, we can live dharmically. We can live naturally. We can live in our essence. What brings us fulfillment. What breaks us out of this cycle of samsara. The wheel of reincarnation. The cycle of compulsions. The cycle of suffering, the cycle of chasing and seeking for things in this material world to give you that sense of fulfillment. But the only thing that will give you true fulfillment, that will fulfill not only your mind and your body, but also your soul, is your dharma. You see, you can give food to your body and it will be fulfilled. You can give stimulation to your mind and it will be fulfilled, but your soul is not fulfilled. The only thing that will actually fulfill all 3 aspects of this is your dharma. This is what I personally strive for, and this is something that you should have marinate into your mind, sink into your psyche. Because I guarantee you, and I was in this position before too, when you hear about spirituality, when you first got into it, maybe you took psychedelics, maybe you started smoking weed, maybe you got into a book and this and that, meditation, mindfulness, you think that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to just be extremely spiritual, extremely zen, extremely calm, extremely mindful, extremely subtle. That's the highest realm of possibility on the spiritual path. And I don't blame you, because this is what everybody is kind of spewing out there. It's all about love. It's all about peace. It's all about happiness. It's all about this. No, to me, that's incomplete. That's an incomplete journey on the spiritual path. Just to become peaceful, just to become happy, just to become full of love is pulling away all the other experiences of life that make life what it is. The hate, the anger, the discontentment, all these different types of things. That's what makes life beautiful. Imagine you have only pleasure and no pain. You would not know what pleasure is. The only way that you can understand what pleasure is because you contrast it to pain. The only way you can contrast light is to see the darkness. The only way that you can contrast anything in life is by having that opposing force. But the whole point when you are living dharmically is that these things no longer bind you. What do I mean by bind you? When you are living dharmically, you are living in a liberated state. When you are liberated, it doesn't mean that you're in heaven in a sense where you've broken free out of the material world, but the material world no longer has this control over your consciousness. You're able to be in this world, but not be controlled by the world. You're able to interact and engage with materiality without being consumed by materiality. You see, a lot of the things that people are trying to break free from, these addictions and all that stuff, is not the act in itself. You know, pornography, junk food, this, that, none of these things are bad. None of these things are evil. You can consciously watch porn. You can consciously eat junk food. You can consciously do all these degenerate habits, enjoy it, indulge in it, and not be compelled by it. The reason why most people are walking the spiritual path, doing self-improvement, is to break free from that compulsion. But they have misassociated where that compulsion comes from. The compulsion comes from your consciousness, from your karmas. It does not come from the act in itself. One man's poison could be another man's medicine. Let me say that again. One man's poison can be another man's medicine. When you are living liberated, in a liberated state because you are living dharmically, any poison can be turned into medicine. You see how powerful that is? It's not about love. It's not about peace. It's not about happiness. And rejecting all the hate, all the anger, all the darkness. It's about how can you find that same divine essence in the love, in the light, in the happiness that you can find in the mud. How can you find that same essence in the mud? And the only way you do that is by living a life that is aligned to your dharma. Because when you are living dharmically, you go beyond good and evil. You go beyond duality. You go beyond any of this compulsive reaction that makes you attached to the love and light and averse to the darkness and mud. You see, within traditions like in India, you see figures, you see yogis who exemplify this to the fullest extent, such as the Aghoris. If you have never heard about the Aghoris, pause this video right now, look up Aghori on Google right now, and you're gonna be freaked out. You're gonna be freaked out. It's these old yogi dudes with long matted hair, you know, drinking out of skulls, like water out of skulls, living in the cremation grounds, have their bodies smeared full of ash. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? That's spiritual? No, I'm thinking spiritual about the guy with the white robe, you know, who's all Peace, love, light, happiness. No, these guys are sitting on top of dead bodies, sitting around dead bodies, eating dead flesh, smearing human ashes on themselves. Not for some sicko, weird fear factor type shit, but what they're trying to do is find that same essence that people find in the peace, the love, the light, the happiness, the divine in the mud. What most people would view as repulsive, what most people would view as gross, as degenerate, as dark, as evil, as sinful. They are breaking that compulsion, and they are breaking that chain that keeps their consciousness in this idea of this is good, this is bad. This is good, this is bad. Because this is what happens when you are living undharmically. You let other people tell you what is good and bad. And this is what a lot of the spiritual people are trying to do, especially with the New Age. They're trying to tell you what is good, and they're trying to tell you what is bad. If you meditate for this long, that's good. If you do this for that long, this is good. If you don't cuss, if you listen to this music, if you eat in this certain way, that's going to make you more spiritual. Yeah, it might make you more subtle and spiritual, but will it make you more of who you were supposed to be? Maybe your dharma is to be some jackass, be a villain in the eyes of others, but for you, it feels fulfilling. You piss other people off because they have this view of what is good and what is bad. When you live alignment to your dharma, you simply just are. And that is the highest point you can reach, and these agoris are trying to break free from that dual binary view of life, the black and white, the good and evil. They are trying to become in a state where they are living beyond this perspective of duality. They can appreciate the differences in life, but they see the divine in everything. They see God in everything, and they see God within themselves. They don't put anything above them. They don't put anything below them. God is in me. God is in that. I am God. God is that. Even the most putrid shit. Do you know how powerful that is? When you are living like that, in that liberated state, when your consciousness is operating on that level, you are fucking unbreakable, unbendable. This is the power of dharma. And this is what dharma is all about, to be honest. Power. Dharma, pursuing your dharma is the most selfish thing you could do, and that is the most highest thing you can do. And you might be thinking, oh, well, being selfish is bad, is evil, this, that. See how your mind just naturally goes into that? Yes, your dharma might be in a state where it benefits others as well. But you're not doing it to benefit others. I'm not doing this shit to benefit others. Because at the same time of other people benefiting from this, I'm actually planting seeds of discord, of distortion, of evil for some people. If you want to live in this world, if you want to be in a differentiated state and be in this conscious state where you can see and appreciate the differences of people, there will always be war. There will always be confrontation. And this is something that the spiritual people online will never talk about because they're fucking retarded. They think that the ultimate goal of life is everyone to become one, everyone to go into unity, everyone to be in the love, the light. I don't know about you, but I don't want that. I don't want to live in a state where my ego is completely dissolved. Everything in life basically gets absorbed into one. Imagine the sun getting so big and it consumes everything. That's what your consciousness is being led towards when it comes to this spiritual path. With all these spiritual practices. And this is why I'm saying in the title of this video, it's pointless. All this shit is pointless if it doesn't lead you back to your dharma. If it's leading you to that love, to that light, and you believe that is your dharma, beautiful. But for some people like me, maybe like you, that's not what you were brought here to do. That's a bar, write it down. That's a bar, write it down. You're brought here to fully express your individuated source of divinity into the world, regardless of what it does. You're willing to step on people's toes. You're willing to piss some people off because this is what's natural to you. You don't hold back any aspect of yourself because this is what brings you fulfillment. This is what's good for you. And you not being able to express that, even though it might be good in the eyes of society, is you abandoning your dharma. It is evil, a sin that you're casting onto yourself. Even though you might be sinning in the eyes of others, by pursuing your dharma, the biggest sin is what you do to yourself, not pursuing that. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? This is stuff 99.9% of spiritual content creators, all that stuff online will tell you about. Because they are living in a life where they only see one side of the coin. They're going straight from the degenerate, the dark, into the light, into the love. And that is one part of the process. I'm not saying that's bad. But once you get there, you realize, is this all? Is this all there is? To just be peaceful, love, light, happiness, where you basically reject all the other emotions, all the other experiences, all the other differentiated aspects of consciousness. Imagine you can never get angry again. I don't know about you. I like being angry. I don't know about you. I like hating on shit. I don't know about you. I like being quote unquote lustful. I don't know about you. I like to be selfish. I don't know about you. But I like all these things because I don't view them as bad. I don't view them as evil. And I don't want to remove these aspects of myself just because I need to become more spiritual. If you think that's really the highest point, you don't understand liberation. Liberation is, again, just like those agoris where they can find the beauty, the divinity in the mud. If you can't find beauty and divinity while you're being selfish, if you can't be divine while you're angry, while you're lustful, while you're doing all these things, that's an issue. You're incomplete. Just like right now you're incomplete, you just flip the roles the other way. This is the trap that this world has put you under. It makes you believe that all this stuff is bad, all this stuff is degenerate, and some people, they take that position and they go deeper into it, which makes them incomplete on the spiritual side. They are compelled to all these things. They're attached to all these dark things, bad things. And then there's another side of the coin where people run away from that, they're averse to that, and they attach themselves to the purity, the light, the love, the happiness. It's black and it's white. Where's the gray? Gray is when you can blend the black and white and you bend it towards your own will. You see the gray in everything. You don't see this thing as white, you don't see this thing as black, you just see for what it is. Do you like that? Is this something beautiful for you? Beautiful. Go ahead and do it. Don't matter if someone views it as black, you view it as gray. And if that thing is not for you, it doesn't allow you to express your dharma, it is against your dharma, you don't view it as evil, you view it as that thing is not actually profitable for me to access in order to pursue my dharma. For somebody else, it might be. That is a poison to me that I don't really want to turn into medicine. I know I can, but I don't want to. Do you see what I'm saying? At this position in life, you truly complete the spiritual path. It's not all about the ascent, there's a descent too. It's not all about the sun, there's a moon too. It's not about all of the light, there is a darkness too. This is the cycles. And when you're stuck in that cycle, you will always be within this trap. Or you're being pulled this way, being pulled that way. Where your consciousness is in a seesaw. The true sage breaks the seesaw, puts it in balance. And the way it puts it into balance is through its dharma. The only way that you will break free from this black and white conditioning is through accessing your dharma. That is the key. That is the pill. That is the source that will truly allow you to ascend beyond the binary systems and this trap that the world has put you under. The spell of what's good and bad. Again, none of this spiritual shit really means anything. If you astral project and you're taking psychedelics, you're going to the spiritual realms, if you're still going to be rooted in the material realm and you are trying to escape it, what's the point? Until you let go of this body, bro, you better learn how to use it. You can't just go fishing for somewhere in the spiritual planes and forget about where you're rooted in. And a lot of people, again, on the spiritual path, don't realize this. They go with the flow of what everybody tells them on these apps, on these platforms, to meditate like this, to do breath work like that. All these things are great, but again, the ultimate goal of the soul is to be liberated. And the only way it lives in a liberated state is by living dharmically. So the first part of the process, the first part of the path, which is called the right-hand path, is about discovering your dharma. You see, in the time and day that we're living in right now, called Kali Yuga in the yogic traditions, your consciousness is rooted in that imbalanced state where what is the main dominant forces that is overruling your consciousness is the mind and is the body. You are living in your lower 3 chakras, your lower planes of consciousness, not the evil ones, not the bad ones, not the dark ones, but just your lower planes of consciousness along the spine. The journey to bring yourself back into this balance is to go on the spiritual path. You must become more subtle, less attached to the material, but not denying the material, but becoming less attached to it, removing the compulsions that keeps your consciousness stuck in this state. Do you see what I'm saying? That is the first initiation, the first liberation, which is again called the right-hand path, or in the tantric traditions, dakshinachara. This is all about renunciation. This is all about going to the peace, to the light, to the love, to the happiness, to the subtle. That's what it's all about. And most people stop there. Most people believe that that's the only thing that's there. And most people never even complete that part. Yet also, if they do complete it, stay stuck there. They never make the descent down. Because we make this metaphor in Tantra that your journey of this whole path towards liberation is like hiking up a mountain. There is one side of the mountain where you are walking up it, the right hand, but there's another side of the mountain to walk down it. If you've ever been hiking, the whole goal of the hike is not just to get to the top, it's to get to the top and come back down. Do you see what I'm saying? Imagine you just go on a hike and you just stay there for the rest of your life. So where the fuck will I leave everything else behind? No, there's something up at the top of that mountain that once you access, and if you bring it down, it will change your life. And the aspect of changing your life we're talking about here is it liberates you. Because what we are trying to do on the right-hand path is dissolve your karmas. Dissolve your karmas to discover your dharma. Discover what it is that brings you into that natural state. You are trying to discover the blueprint of your dharma. But just having the blueprint of your dream house ain't enough. Right? Imagine you get this nice piece of land and we give you the blueprint of your beautiful house and we just leave the blueprint there. And you're just looking at it, wow, that would be really cool if we make that. No, motherfucker, you need to start building off that blueprint. Do you see what I'm saying? Just getting the blueprint ain't enough. Once you get that blueprint, it's time to come back down the mountain and start building based off what that blueprint showed you. So the right-hand path, dakshinachara, the journey of self-mastery, what that leads to as you walk up that mountain is self-realization. Right now, you must master the self. The self is out of balance. The self, again, is the combination of the mind, body, and soul. That is who you are. That is your true essence. Not the mind, not the body, not just the soul. It's not two of these. It's not one of these. It is the combination of all three. Right now, your mind and body are putting the most emphasis on your consciousness. You're not able to fully explore the entire spectrum of your spine. And when I say the spine, this is what I'm talking about, the chakra system. The chakras are not just random balls floating in your spine. They are planes of consciousness, categories of consciousness. Some of these planes of consciousness are oriented towards the physical, the material, while others are oriented towards the subtle, the spiritual. And there's also a mental aspect of this too. Each plane of consciousness holds a specific realm of reality that you can access. Right now, we are only living in the lower realms, in the material, in the physical, and in the mental. So what you need to do to unlock those other planes of consciousness and bring yourself back into balance, master the self, to realize what the self is, who you truly are, what is your dharma. You must go towards the spirit. You must go towards the subtle. And this is why the right-hand path is all about renunciation. Not giving up on life, not viewing life as bad, not viewing the physical body, your compulsions as bad, but you're trying to override your reflexive and impulsive tendencies that keep your consciousness stuck, rooted in the body. This is why we practice things like celibacy, like fasting, like meditation, is to overcome those compulsions. These compulsions are not bad, but they constrict you. They constrict your consciousness by forming karmas. These karmas are basically, when you hear about the word karma, you probably think, oh, you do good things will happen to you. You do bad things will happen to you. I'm talking about the deeper esoteric sense of karmas. These karmas are basically like cords that keep your consciousness rooted in your lower planes, unable to move past that. So you are circling in this cycle of survival, sex, status. That's all you're thinking about. That is all that is ruminating within your psyche and within your consciousness. All those compulsions keep you rooted there, because the more that you are as addicted to those compulsions, the more that you're a slave to your senses, the deeper and stronger these karmas become. The journey of the right-hand path is about dissolving those karmas, by removing your attachment to these compulsions, by using specific practices and spiritual sadhanas to override them. Celibacy is a spiritual practice. It is a sadhana. Fasting is a spiritual practice, is a sadhana. Meditation is a spiritual practice, is a sadhana. It isn't the end goal, but the goal of them is to remove the compulsions, because each and every single plane of consciousness, each and every single chakra has a poison that is keeping you bound to it, keeping you and preventing you from being able to ascend to those spiritual planes, mastering the self, bringing back balance to that tripart, that triangle of the mind, body, and soul. Do you see what I'm saying now? That is the first part of the process. And once you get to the top of that mountain, and as you walk up that mountain, again, imagine there's an obstacle in the way. Those are the compulsions. If you can't override that obstacle, you can't keep progressing. You're stuck in that plane of consciousness, and you can only view reality from that lens. And imagine right now you're hiking and there's an obstacle, then you can only see the view from that level. You can't see any further because you're stuck. You can't go any higher. There's a thing in your way. Until you break through that thing, until you break through that obstacle, until you break through these karmas that are keeping you compelled to that plane, you will never be able to ascend to the next stage. Once you get to the top, then you can get the full vantage point and you can get the full scope of your dharma. Because each plane of consciousness not only does it have a poison, does it have an obstacle, but it holds a piece of the puzzle of what your dharma is. You're collecting all the puzzles like you're collecting all the fucking Pokemon. You gotta catch them all. And once you get to the top, you can put all these puzzle pieces together to form out your dharma. You realize what the self is. You realize your dharma at the top, at the summit, where you go beyond all compulsions. You go beyond all these ties that are keeping your consciousness bound. You have dissolved all karmas. Now when you're in that state, you realize your true nature. You realize your true essence. You realize what brings your mind, your body, and your soul into that dharmic balance, into that unified state. This is achieving yoga. Yoga doesn't mean stretching. Yoga means union of the self. But now you realize what it is, doesn't mean you can actively pursue it yet. Now you must come down the mountain, and this is called the left-hand path. This is called Vamachara, the descent where you go from the higher planes, these subtle planes, back down into the material. But now, as you come back down, you're no longer compelled to these karmas. So each plane of consciousness, what you're doing as you go down the spine, go down the ladder of consciousness, you are expressing your dharma in this plane, in this plane, in this plane. So you are fully expressing it to the maximum potential. So you not only realize yourself, but you actualize yourself. Now you are living in a liberated state. And once you get to the bottom, just like we talked about at the top, there's self-realization. At the bottom of the spine and the completion of the left-hand path, we hit self-deification. You have now accessed Godhood, Buddhahood, whatever you want to call it. You have truly become divine. To me, in my eyes, that's what I want. I don't just want to know my dharma. I don't just want the peace, love, light, and happiness. I want to access Godhood. All these spiritual practices, they're great, they're cool, but they only get you up one part of the mountain. I don't want to stay stuck. And I don't think you do either. You would have clicked off this video if that was the case. You are picking up what I'm putting down. You're resonating with this. Because you see what I'm saying. You see other spiritual practitioners online, whatever they are. They just seem fried out. To be honest, they just seem fried out. They're all hippies and this and that. And that's, maybe some of their dharma is to do that. Not me. And maybe not you. Probably not you. So it's one thing, again, to dissolve your karmas, to realize your dharma. But it's another thing to actualize it and deify the self. Express your dharma. Not just know it, but express it. Not just hear about it, but live it. Because you'll get the whispers, you'll get the knowledge, you'll get the gnosis of what your dharma is at the top, but it doesn't mean that you're living in alignment to it. Again, it's like having the blueprint of the house. You don't have the house yet. You need to build it. If the spiritual path that you're walking on and the spiritual practice that you're doing is not aimed and oriented towards this full spectrum of dharma, the realization of it and the actualization of it, to be honest, in my eyes, you're wasting your time. Who gives a damn about how long you can meditate? Who gives a damn about how many psychedelic trips you've done? Who gives a damn if it doesn't bring you towards realizing your dharma or actualizing your dharma? What does it matter? Oh man, I'm so spiritual now. Oh man, look at all my fucking knickknacks. Oh man, look at this festival I went to. Oh man, look at the peace, love, light, and happiness I have. So what? You're still a slave. You're a slave now to the spirit, just like you were a slave to the fucking senses. What's the fucking point? You are a slave to the spirit, just like how you were a slave to the senses. A true, realized man who is living in that liberated state of Godhood is not being dominated, their conscience is not dominated by the spirit, by the body, or by the mind. They use every aspect to express their dharma the way it's meant to be. They don't stay stuck. And when I say being expressed in a balanced manner, maybe the way you express your dharma is 30% spiritual. That is how you express your consciousness. 40% material, physical, and 30% mental. 30, 40. Maybe it's 20, 50, and 30. Who knows? There is a wide variety of different ways that consciousness is expressed in its natural state. It does not matter. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. Imagine we have these 3 aspects of the triangle. Maybe you express it in this manner, in this ratio. That is natural to you, that is dharmic to you. It don't matter. But if you just go 100% one way, 50% other, 50% other, you're just a slave to them. You're not able to fully express yourself to the maximum extent. You're never going to be able to actualize who you are to the fullest extent. And right now, in the position and time that we're living in, again, Kali Yuga, where your consciousness is basically spawned into the lower planes, and what is dominating your consciousness right now is the compulsions of the brain and of the body. You must go to the spirit, but you can get stuck there too. You can get stuck there too. The goal is to be in that unified state, whatever that looks like for your dharma. The first part of the process, the first part of the journey is to dissolve your karmas, to discover your dharma. And then we can talk about the other side of it, the left hand. But everything that I talk about here on this channel, aka the philosopher files right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out at games. You guys can make these games. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. Everything that I speak about here is oriented mainly towards the journey of the right hand. Realizing your dharma. By what? Dissolving your karmas. Dakshinachara. This is the journey I am walking upon right now and teaching you guys about, helping you streamline your paths. But I know deep down, I'm not stopping once I get to the top. I'm going to make my ass all the way back down the mountain and realize and actualize, better yet, my dharma, to access not just self-realization, but self-deification. I'm not here to find God. I'm here to become a God. I'm going to take that God essence that I find at the top of the mountain and embody it. Put it into every aspect of my life. Put it into every aspect of my consciousness and become God. Do you see what I'm saying? This is all the stuff that we talk about here on this channel, over on the main channel as well. Matter of fact, if you don't know about the main channel yet, you are missing out, my guy. Because like I said, this is my second channel, The Philosopher Files. We're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out their games. You guys can make these games. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? But we do all this content on this channel like this. No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. Raw, uncut, unfiltered, and authentic as it gets. Like we're basically having a convo one-on-one, like I'm having a podcast out here in nature. So if you enjoy this style of content, long form, unedited, that's what we're cooking up over here on this channel, aka the second channel, The Philosopher Files. Some of y'all, maybe the first time you've ever seen my videos. But I just told you, this is my second channel. There is another side of the coin, aka the main channel. Man, what the fuck, bro? Come on now. Making all this goddamn noise. Well, I'm talking about the main channel, The Philosopher. So over on the main channel, we do all of our content. Nice, clean, cut, edited, all the scripts, and just making it basically a cinematic experience every time you tap into a main channel video. You better be ready to watch a goddamn movie, because again, we're still talking about these same types of topics. We're discussing these same types of ideas and concepts, but just from another side of the coin. So maybe you enjoy this channel more, maybe you enjoy the main channel more. Who knows? But you ain't gonna know until you do know. So definitely tap in with the main channel, The Philosopher, by clicking the link posted in the description box down below. Click that link. You'll find it right there, a link to my main channel. Subscribe, get up on some games. You ain't out here looking like a lame. You dig what I'm saying? Because again, we are still uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery on both of these channels, but just from two different angles, from two different styles, from two different flavors. So taste both out. Maybe you like best of both worlds. Maybe you just like one over the other, but you ain't gonna know until you know. So definitely run up that link posted in the description box down below to subscribe to the main channel, The Philosopher, and get up on all the game and all the content that we're cooking up over there as well. But also, you can find a link to my Instagram underneath the description box link that has my main channel right there. Click that link, follow me on Instagram, connect with me over there. If you ever want to talk about these topics, discuss these different types of concepts, just chop it up as a whole, definitely do not be shy. Shoot your boy a DM, slide in the DMs. Not like that though, pause. I don't roll like that. That ain't dharmic for me. But don't be shy, shoot your boy a shot, and we'll talk in the DMs. We'll just chop it up, and you can follow me on there, connect with me on there, and get up on all the game that we're cooking up over on that platform as well. Again, description box down below, main channel, The Philosopher, and my Instagram. But like I was saying, all the stuff that we talk about over here on this channel, The Philosopher Files, over on the main channel, The Philosopher, all the stuff that we talk about over on the private Patreon community. Matter of fact, we got to take a quick pause right here and right now, because I got to give a shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. Look, man, most people have already clicked off this video. Most people can't handle the way I talk. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about. Most people can't pick up what the fuck I'm putting down. They got triggered. Maybe they don't realize the essence of these teachings. But you still here because you resonate with the motherfucking message. If you did not, you would have clicked off by now. We're already 5 minutes into this bitch. The reason you're still here is because you resonate with the message and you are what I like to call a spiritual savage. A real aspirant of this path. You are ready to walk the right-hand path of self-mastery. You realize what I'm saying is resonating with you. It is truthful to you. You see the bullshit in other spiritual circles. You see how it's all about peace, love, and light, and they reject the other aspects of life. You realize that, yeah, you're compelled right now to these lower aspects of life. But once you are liberated, you can engage in it all. You can turn poison into medicine. You realize that this journey of yoga is the path to fully actualize the self, fully deify yourself. You're a real devotee to this journey. And you are really about this life. Because if that wasn't the case, I promise you, you would have clicked off by now. If you are one of those individuals, if you are a spiritual savage, if you consider yourself at that plane of consciousness, I'm going to need you to do me a quick favor right here, right now. Find the closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in your bathroom. I don't care if it's in a selfie camera of your phone. I don't care if you got to look into somebody else's car window, stare at them, make them uncomfortable. Do what you got to do to take a good, hard look in that mirror for me. Come on now, I can wait. I'll wait all day. Because I need you to really stare into the eyes and stare into the soul of that man that you see when you look into the mirror. Come on now, man. Get a nice click-clack Kodak moment. Get that mental picture. Really let it marinate into your mind. Let it sink into your psyche. Because I need you, yes you, to realize that you're doing that man. Not me. That man that's staring right into your eyes and right into your soul when you look into that mirror, a huge motherfucking disfavor if you consider yourself a true spiritual savage by not joining up into the private Patreon community yet. Because again, man, if you consider yourself someone who's serious about this journey, who's serious about living liberated, who actually wants to get a full scope and the spectrum of what this path is all about, not just the spiritual side of it, but also the material, not just the ascension, but also the descension to complete this cycle, I'm telling you, man, you are missing out on all the sauce that we're cooking up over on the private Patreon community. I'm talking about exclusive videos. Exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find on this channel. You ain't gonna find on the main channel. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna find it anywhere else on the internet. But exclusive videos with all this game, with all this sauce to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? That uncovers this science of this esoteric science of self-mastery to a level that you've never seen. Because I'm telling you, man, if you enjoy the content that we're cooking up over here, and you enjoy the content that we're cooking up over the main channel, your mind is gonna be blown to bits by joining up into the private Patreon community. Blown to bits, I can 100% guarantee you that, man. Because again, we are uncovering and unraveling this esoteric science of self-mastery to a level you've never seen, motherfucker. And not only do you get access to all these exclusive videos, this treasure trove of exclusive videos by joining up into the private Patreon community, but also access to all of our full guides, access to all of our in-depth occult lectures, access to all of our digital libraries, and most importantly, an invitation to the Philosopher Circle. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Not the Philosopher Circle. I'm talking about the motherfucking Philosopher Circle, aka our private inner circle community, where you'll be joined up into our group chat, where again you'll be surrounded with other like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery, walking the right hand of renunciation, dissolving their karmas to discover their dharma. That is the first part of this path, remember, but it ain't the full scope of this path. So if you want to be surrounded with other spiritual savages that are going to hold you accountable, that want to see you elevate and inevitably want to see you liberate, I'm telling you, man, the Philosopher Circle is the place to be, because this ain't just a regular group chat. This is also where we host our bi-weekly Mastermind live calls. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Bi-weekly Mastermind live calls. We're hopping a live call with me, as well as this community of like-minded men who are walking side by side with you up the mountain of self-mastery. Again, this is a mountain that is universal, but we all walk on our own mountains. You might start off on this part of the mountain. I might start off this part of the mountain. I might take this route. You might take that route. But the principles, the path of ascension, the tools that we use to make it up this mountain, to break through those obstacles, are universal. This is a science, motherfucker. This ain't just some random shit that we just jumbled all together. This is a science. So if you want to be surrounded with like-minded men who are walking up the same mountain side by side with you, who are going to hold you accountable, who want to see you elevate and inevitably want to see you liberate, I'm telling you, man, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, because you've all heard the saying that you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around the most with. If you hang around with 5 people that are stuck on the spiritual path or just stuck as a slave to their senses, you're going to be the 6th motherfucker that's stuck within the cycle of samsara. But if you hang around with the real savages that are ready and doing what it takes to ascend and descend, to break free from the shackles of samsara, of this cycle completely, and live in a liberated state where they're fully aligned to their dharma, this is the place to be, my guy. I can 100% guarantee you that shit, that the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment of this video, not the description box. Again, description box is where you'll find a link to my main channel, The Philosopher, and my Instagram. So if you want to connect with me on Instagram, tap into the main channel videos, subscribe, get up on game. Again, that is posted in the description box down below. But if you go down into the comment section below, you'll see a pinned comment pinned up by me. Click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can join up as a member of the private Patreon community, but also check out the other links to the other services I provide, such as a personalized coaching program that I offer for those who are truly serious about this path and want my one-on-one guidance, want to work with me mano a mano to help guide you up the mountain of self-mastery, to dissolve your karmas and discover your dharma. Because again, I want to be making it clear, you already know your dharma. We're not figuring out something new. You just forgot it. You're stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia because why? Your consciousness is consumed by the material, by the mental. You are constricted. All those karmas are keeping you bound there. The spirit has the knowledge of your dharma. The body and brain are meant to actualize it. You need to find the blueprint before you start building, or you're going to start building a life of and dharma of somebody else, which you probably are right now, that's leaving you unfulfilled. And you believe that the spiritual path, just getting to the top, is the escape mechanism that will fix everything. No, man, you must discover your own dharma. You already know what it is. I always bring up this analogy. Your dharma is like the sun. Your dharma is like the sun. It's always out. Right now it's beaming on me. Yesterday, raining, pouring. I went outside. Was I like, no, I can't find the sun. Where did it go? I have to just find it. No, I know the sun is there. It's just covered up by clouds. It's covered up by rain. And your dharma is just like the sun. But we're not covered up by clouds and rains. These types of clouds are karmas. So you must dissolve the karmas to discover your dharma. It's already there. It's already within you. Your mom doesn't know, your dad doesn't know, I don't know, but what I do know for damn sure is the science of how you dissolve your karmas. And this is what this coaching program is all about, dissolving your karmas to discover your dharma, reclaiming back your power, reclaiming back your prana to realize what is the path that brings you the most fulfillment. And so that you can live a life that is aligned to that, that will inevitably actualize your dharma and lead you towards self-deification. This is the first part of the journey. We got to figure out what that blueprint is. We got to find it once again. And the only way we do that is by dissolving the karmas in the way, the obstacles in the way. If you take a bird and put it into a cage, it's caged up, but it still knows how to fly. And how to fly is its dharma. The analogy I'm trying to bring up is those karmas are like that cage that is boxing your consciousness, like that bird is being boxed into that cage. Once we break through those bars, once we remove the cage, you can fly. That is your dharma. You can live in alignment in a state where you inevitably will achieve liberation. So again, if you are looking to work with me one-on-one, mano a mano, to help guide you up this mountain using this esoteric science of self-mastery that is curated specifically for you and the karmas that you're facing and the compulsions that are keeping your consciousness tied down, this is the coaching program for you. Shoot your boy an application by clicking that link posted again in the pinned comment of this video and we'll see if your entry meets the qualifications and criteria for this coaching program. But if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy, discuss anything that you're dealing with to help you get back on the right track, this is what we have. Also within the pinned comment of this video, booking links for consultation calls where we can discuss anything that you're dealing with, help you get back on the right track towards discovering your dharma by dissolving your karmas. You can find that, again, all that good stuff posted in the pinned comments video. Click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can pick and choose whether it's join up into the Philosopher's Circle, applying to the coaching program, booking a consultation call with me. You can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But like I was saying, all the stuff that we talk about here on this channel, all the stuff that we talk about over on the main channel, all the stuff that we especially talk about all over on the private Patreon community and my personalized coaching program is the science of self-mastery. That is the first part of bringing your consciousness from those constricted states where you are bound to the material and loosening up that grip till inevitably it breaks. And inevitably you can rise up towards the spirit and figure out your dharma. Discover it once again by dissolving your karmas. First, we need the blueprint before we start building. Let me say that again. First, we need the blueprint of your dharma before we start building it. Most people get up to the top, they don't really complete the full ascent. They're still at the state where they believe that they're spiritual, but they haven't fully broken through towards their dharma. And this is what happens to, I would say, 99% of spiritual aspirants out there, spiritual seekers, true seekers, because they don't have the knowledge of dharma. They never came across one of these fucking videos yet. But you are still here. I always say this. The people that watch this channel, aka the second channel, the Philosopher Files right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping all that games so you guys can make these games. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are the 1% of the population that is not suffering from brain rot. You are psychologically and spiritually more mature than the masses. I'm not saying you're a chosen one because you watch this channel. Again, this ain't no new age nonsense. But what I am saying is, I don't know how, I don't know why, and I quite frankly don't even care why you have the ability to actually grasp these concepts. Maybe the karmas that you dissolve in past lives put you in a better position in this life to receive the knowledge of Dharma. But it don't matter. You're in this position, you're in this incarnation, and this might be your incarnation where you finally can punch in your one-way ticket to spiritual liberation. Because you're still here and you resonate with this message. You resonate with the essence of Dharma that I'm speaking. Again, forget about the messenger, focus on the message. I know I'm entertaining and I know I look good, but God damn it, man, you did not listen to me yap out here for an hour straight just because I'm entertaining and just because you think I look good. Come on, man. I'm not that entertaining and I don't look that good. Let's keep it a buck. You resonate with the message. And maybe the way I break it down finally helps it click for your consciousness. But at the end of the day, the only thing that truly matters is that the Dharma is speaking through me and to you, and you are receiving this message. That is a clear sign that it's time for you to walk the right hand, for you to master the self and realize your Dharma by dissolving your karmas. It is clear as day. If you're still watching this, that is the path that's laid out in front of you. You would not be able to watch a video for this long. We do long form content. Most people can't watch a video for this long, and you add on top of that the density of topics we discuss here is going over right over most people's head, right over their heads. But you still here because you resonate with the message. Again, the Dharma is speaking through me and to you. Focus on the message, forget about the messenger. Because everything that I'm talking about has already been said and done. I'm not making this shit up, bro. If you thought I was a genius, I'm telling you, man, I ain't that smart. I am not that smart. I could have not made this stuff up. My Dharma and my destiny, my duty, what brings me fulfillment is reviving Dharma, resurrecting this ancient tradition of the Aryans. That is my Dharma. That is my destiny, and that is my duty to make sure that the spiritual savages watching this like you actually get the message towards allowing them to understand what it takes to follow their Dharma, to pursue Dharma, which the first part of the journey, the right-hand path, is about dissolving those karmas so you realize what that blueprint is before you start fucking building, to get to the subtle, to bring everything back into alignment, before you start building a life that brings you to liberation. That is my dharma. That is my duty. What I'm doing is reviving this knowledge from the ancient traditions of the past and making sure that the modern day man like me, like you, can receive this knowledge in a practical way where it finally is applicable to him. So if you think I'm a genius, I'm telling you, man, go to these ancient texts. They got the sauce. I'm just breaking it down like a motherfucking brick for y'all. You see what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 9, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that I'm saying has already been said and done. So if you don't believe me, go to the sages. But I'm the middleman in between this. I'm translating this shit. Not many people can understand and decipher these concepts of dharma. I'm translating it and making it dumbed down for the regular human being to be able to apply it to his life. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is, again, the dharma is speaking through me and to you. If you're still here, that is a clear sign. It's time. Time to walk the right hand. Time to dissolve your karmas and discover your dharma. Or you're going to remain stuck in this idea of spirituality, thinking that you're becoming more spiritual, but at the end of the day, you're just becoming attached from one plane to the other. You went from being attached to degeneracy to be attached to purity. You're not liberated, you're still trapped. You went from a slave to your senses to a slave to the spirit. You see, in other yugas, funny enough, everything that we're doing is opposite. In other cycles of time, the spirit is dominating consciousness, and you must walk the right-hand path towards the material, towards the mental. It's flipped for us. We must go from the material and the physical to the spiritual. That's the right hand, and that is what you must walk upon. All these compulsions in the way, you must overcome. You might be wondering, how the fuck do I do that? Well, we talk about all that shit over here on this channel, over on the main channel. This is what we go in depth and in detail to over on the private Patreon community. So if you're looking for more advanced, direct practices, direct topics, direct understandings that goes more in depth and more in detail to any of this shit that we talk about over here, that's what we got the Patreon community for. That's what we got the personalized coaching program for. That's what we got these consultation calls for. You don't have any excuse at this point. You have no excuse. You have no excuse of remaining stuck in the spiritual trap. You have no excuse of doing these spiritual practices anymore and it leading to nothing at the end of the day. You know what dharma is and you know the path. If you're really ready to take it up another notch, to ascend and evolve on this path of dissolving your karmas to discover your dharma, pin comment down below. You already know where to go. That's a bar, write it down. Tap in with the Philosopher's Circle. Apply to the coaching program. Book a consultation call. Do what you got to do. Tap into more videos. Tap into the main channel. There's no excuse. You have all the sauce right there laid out for you, and this is what I'm going to continue to do until the day I fucking die. I'm devoted to this shit. This is my dharma. To revive dharma. And hopefully you guys can feel the passion through the screen to be able to see, oh, damn it, man. I don't have that. You do have that. Your dharma might be different than mine, but you have that, and you've been disconnected from it. And this is what leads you to a life of liberation. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being a degenerate or walking the spiritual path towards unity and not actually being able to be in the midst of the both instead of staying stuck in this binary black and white system, the right-hand path is calling your name, motherfucker. It's calling your name. The first part is dissolving your karmas to discover your dharma, realizing this self through the right-hand path of self-mastery. Then, when we talk about the left hand, how do you actualize that self that you realize? And inevitably, deify that self that you realize. This is some real deal shit here. And only the real spiritual savages have the balls to go up to the top of this mountain. But I'm gonna make my way up that bitch. And hopefully you are too. Because if you didn't, man, if you ain't gonna do it, you just wasted fucking an hour of your life that you'll never get back. Congratulations, you dumbass. It's one thing to have the knowledge. It's one thing to understand what I'm talking about. You can watch the next videos, the next videos, the next videos, and get more knowledge. But it's another thing to turn that knowledge into gnosis. To go from the head to the heart. Understanding to understanding. The only way you'll do that is by walking up this mountain yourself. I cannot hold your hand and walk you up that mountain. Like I said before, I don't know your dharma, but what I do know for damn sure is how to dissolve your karmas. I can give you the science, I can give you the guides, but you must apply it. You can get all this wisdom from these videos. Like self-improvement people who watch video after video read self-help book after self-help book, yet never apply those teachings, they're called mental masturbators. Well, I'm calling you, yes, you motherfucker, if all you're gonna do is just binge all this content and yet not apply it, you a spiritual masturbator. So what's the fucking point? You know now that dharma is the true path. But just knowing ain't enough. Turn that understanding into understanding. Walk the path yourself. This is called self-mastery. It ain't mommy mastery. It ain't daddy mastery. Nobody's gonna fucking hold your hand. It ain't philosopher mastery. I just know the science. But you must apply it. You must apply it to see what it's like to live in alignment to your dharma firsthand for yourself. Let's end it off right there, man. Let's end it off right there. This spiritual path, all these spiritual practices, spirituality as a whole is completely pointless until it leads you, unless it leads you towards your dharma. There's a specific science to this path, a specific journey with specific practices that will lead you to it. And this is what we talk about over here. But it's one thing to know about it, and it's another thing to actually walk upon it. I'm gonna make my way up that mountain. Hopefully I see you there. Because it's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that games. You guys can make these games. I'm out here. Peace.